I got arrested for protesting last week, and I'm sitting in there with a cop, and I'm like, bro, you are Latino. What are you gonna do when an ICE agent profiles and snatches up your kid? He said, all hell is gonna break loose. And this is a decorated NYPD detective. I don't think it'll be Zohran v. Trump, but I think it'll be like New York City versus Trump.
You want to see what real independent journalism funded by the people for the people looks like?
You ever heard a story like this in America?
You're looking at it.
Congratulations for always being somewhere where mainstream media is not.
Flint, Michigan.
See you in Nevada.
Thanks to people like you, we can get the truth. Corporate media, they've been lying to us for years, and you're going straight to the people.
You are the man. I'm glad you're here.
For as low as 16 cents a day, you'll keep us on the ground, covering the important stories the corporate media covers up.
Hey, I'm Hawk Newsome, and I'm the co-founder of Black Lives Matter Greater New York and co-founder of Black Opportunities.
You're very sober when it comes to the corruption of both parties, the Republicans and the Democrats. Can you speak more to that, especially in New York City?
Oh, you came to have a real conversation with me.
I always do.
You came to the Bronx, so we're gonna talk the talk, right? Well, let's look at New York politics. A city council race, right? There are about 50, 60 city council seats in New York. A city council race, you have real estate developers putting $500,000, $250,000 into these local races. And you're like, why are you doing that? Well, you could look at Richie Torres's district, right? Richie Torres got millions of dollars from the real estate lobby. Why? Because they wanted to develop his area. What made that so offensive was Richie Torres's neighborhood led the city in homelessness and youth homelessness. So why are real estate developers targeting those areas? Because they want to exploit this and make things worse for those people so that they can make money. One of the biggest things that a lot of people glazed over in the debates for mayor was when they started talking about area median income. Zohran is talking about a realistic area median income. So if you look at this neighborhood and you say, what's the area median income? It might be $25,000, $30,000. That means, like, let's say 1 square mile, 2 square miles, that's the average that households have, right? But when New York City does area median income, instead of calculating what poor folk have, they incorporate Westchester County. They incorporate Park Avenue, the Upper East Side, the Upper West Side, where there are millionaires. You understand what I'm saying? So the area median income is the price that they use to set affordable housing. That's through the roof. So affordable housing really isn't affordable housing, right? You have to be doing pretty well. Well, I wouldn't say pretty well. You have to be doing a lot better than most poor people to get affordable housing. And Zohran Mamdani is exposing that. If Zohran doesn't accomplish 30% of what he set out to do, I'm happy. Why? Because he changed the conversation. He's changed the conversation. Now people are actually forced to think about poor New York. People who are the lifeblood of the city, your transit workers, the people who run the bodegas. These are the folks that Zohran is actually speaking up for. But our past politicians, like Eric Adams, who raised the rent 3 times after a rent freeze, these people are for the rich.
We're not calling on Hochul. We're calling on Trump to pardon him or leave it alone.
I don't believe Al Sharpton endorsed somebody in this race. However, he put members of his team and embedded them with Eric Adams. Al Sharpton is the face of the black establishment across America. I didn't say the poor black and the downtrodden, the people in the street. I'm talking about the black establishment. These are pretty much middle-class black people who don't care as much about poor people as you think, right? So they cut deals with these politicians. Eric Adams brought back stop and frisk. These street crime units, they're the ones who kill people in cases that Al Sharpton fought for. Black Lives Matter in our movement, Black Lives Matter New York, led the fight to disband these units. Eric Adams brought it back, A federal probe said that their practices were racist, that 1 out of every 4 stops were good, that 90% of the people stopped were black and brown. So they were just jumping out and harassing anybody black and brown. And the black establishment stood with Eric Adams. And then the black establishment in New York went to the side of Andrew Cuomo. Now, when Andrew Cuomo was governor, we worked together to give 36,000 formerly incarcerated people a partial pardon so they could vote. We negotiated that with him personally, okay? We also negotiated the Say Her Name Act, which was 4 pieces of legislation that were in the Black Lives Matter movement that were common sense laws that were never passed. Like, if a person complains that they need medical assistance, police have to get it for them or they'll face charges. Things like that. We actually worked together to pressure New York City to put together a commission to investigate police, right? However, Governor Cuomo couldn't distance himself far enough for anything related to police reform. And I didn't say one word. I just backed Zohran. I hated Eric Adams, and I just backed Zohran. But Governor Cuomo was the biggest two-faced person you could ever imagine in this race. And now he's some kind of, borderline Republican who wants a relationship with Donald Trump, but back when he was in office, he wanted to fight Donald Trump on everything. It was a joke. He was Mr. Flip-Flop. And he flip-flopped on who the most? Black people.
As New York governor for 11 years, attorney general, our diversity is our strength, but it can also be a weakness. Mamdani, literally, this would be his first real job.
Democrats don't like Zohran. Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries didn't endorse Zohran until the last minute. Nancy Pelosi retired. Now, I can say a lot about Nancy Pelosi, but I will never call that woman dumb. That woman is brilliant. Do I agree with her policies? Not so much, right? But who do I agree with? 100%, whatever. Nancy Pelosi resigned this week in her brilliance. Why? Because she sees the writing on the wall. She knows it's over for the middle of the road Democrats. The Democrats who play like they love the poor, but are catering to the rich. Zohran Mamdani just put that monster in a coffin, right? But with Trump and his folks, it's easier for Trump and his people to say Zohran is the face of the Democrats, right? But he's really not. The Democrats don't want him to step to the forefront because then it makes it hard for them. That makes sense. Lastly, I don't think it'll be Zohran v. Trump, but I think it'll be like New York City versus Trump. You know, when there was that clash with ICE agents downtown on Canal Street, you had women in business suits who were getting off work, standing in front of tanks with their middle fingers up. Bro, it's different in New York. Like, you know, I got arrested for protesting last week, and I'm sitting in there with a cop, and I'm like, bro, you are Latino. What are you gonna do when an ICE agent profiles and snatches up your kid? He said all hell is gonna break loose. And this is a decorated NYPD detective. New York is really a black and a brown city. So you won't just have your everyday activists standing out there challenging ICE. You'll have lawyers, doctors, business people, teachers, students. You'll have everybody outside because New York just voted in a socialist mayor. Zohran was the candidate of the people. Now, if he gets in there and doesn't accomplish anything, right? He changed the conversation. He opened people's minds. So as far as I'm concerned, he won. Now, granted, if things happen and he doesn't respond, we will be at his doorstep. because that's our job. We defend the people. But for now, you know, he's our champion.